Hey YouTube, how you guys doing today? Today I am doing my first repeat of a trail, and that is it's actually the very first trail that I did. And that was, gosh, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. I'm here in my hometown of Clinton, and I am going to hike the Pelishek Trail. This is the one that I first started on. My wife Jen and I were out here, we were doing it, trying to get our feet wet into this hiking world. And yeah, it was actually a pretty nice trail. It's an old railroad system. It's short of 6 miles. I think it's supposed to be like 5.8 or something like that, or 5.5. But there's a lady walking her dog and she's like screaming into her phone. You guys are probably hearing her. But anyway, I'm going to turn on the All Trails app and we'll try to get a precise measurement of exactly the distance on this trail. So, okay, it says it's waiting for a GPS signal, but the timer is going. So hopefully we'll get a good signal and we'll be able to map out this trail. I had a good breakfast this morning. And I did bring a few things for lunch because I know it's going to take me a few hours and I'm going to be exerting a lot of energy, so I wanted a good breakfast to start my day. Alright, let's get on the trail and get going. When you first start out here in the parking lot, but man, you got this really nice big gazebo here, and then there's a bridge right over here where you actually have to cross to get over to the trail. So let's go do it. And I have actually hidden a couple of geocaches along the trail. So if you're into geocaching, you can come over here. Oh, that's ice. You can come over here, try your luck at trying to find my geocaches. Now this trail is not just for hiking. It is a huge, wide trail. It's like, I think one of the signs back there in the parking area said that the trail actually goes about 100 feet wide. In spots, not all the time. But you can hike it, you can bike it, you can ride horses on it. There's a local snowmobile club that actually uses it too. Cross-country ski on it. You pretty much do whatever you want on this trail, except for, of course, motorized vehicles, except for snowmobiles in season. So no dirt bikes, no ATVs, nothing like that. Oh, this is actually going to be kind of treacherous. This trail is really icy. That brick building you see there, that is my old elementary school. It is still used today, and in fact it's much bigger than it was when I was there. So these are like automotive repair shops and stuff back here. But this tan building way over there beyond the fields, that's my old high school. And that is currently the junior high or middle school to this little town. Yeah, not much has changed in this little town. You know, a lot of the houses are still the same, maybe painted a different color. But yeah, they built a brand new high school here. And then the middle school or the junior high, when I was there, it was called a junior high, and then sometime after I graduated, they changed it to a middle school. But then the junior high moved into the old high school, and the town sold off the junior high. And it's in private hands now. I think some farmer owns it. He keeps some stuff in it. I think he actually lives in it too. But he keeps some machinery in like the old gym and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a cool building, it really is. But yeah, it was just getting so old that the town didn't want to put up with the upkeep with it, so they sold it off. So yeah, in just the probably what, 5 minutes or so that I've been walking, I am at the outskirts of town. Once I get past the junior high, middle school, I am going to be in the country. Clinton is such a small town anyway. I mean, the population I think finally reached over 2,000 a few years back. But when I graduated here, it was less than 2,000. And coming up on my first little rest area there, got a couple of, or got a picnic table and a couple of benches. And I think there's another, I don't know what you want to call them, gazebos, rest areas, whatever you want to call them. There's another one farther down, closer to Allen's Grove, where the trail actually ends. So being this is also used for snowmobiles, they do have almost like traffic signs here. So there is an intersection up here. So right up here is that trail intersection for the snowmobiles. Looks like it just goes off and crosses the field here. So you can see the snowmobile trail, how it just kind of goes across the field. But then right across the way, got a couple more benches here. Another little rest area. Looks like it's a memorial. Marion Wenman. Now I really don't know who Marion Wenman is, but I bet you my mom does. And she'd probably go, oh yeah, she's this person, and then I'll go, oh, okay, that's her name. I am really horrible with names. You know, I have to know somebody for quite a while before I actually get their name ingrained in my head and I don't forget it. Hell, my older brother, he's been with a girl now for, gosh, 13 years or so. And her name and my younger brother's ex-wife have similar names. And one was Alicia and the other one was Alicia. And being my younger brother's ex is no longer around, but I keep on forgetting my older brother's girlfriend's name. I keep getting them confused. Is it Alicia or Alicia? I want to say it's Alicia. But I only see her like maybe once or twice a year. That's it. So I think even this past Christmas, we were doing gift exchange, and at one time I think I actually called her Alicia, and she's like, what? Who? Who are you talking to? So if she's watching this video, you know, I hope you accept my apologies on not remembering names. I'm horrible at it. Ask anybody. Just don't ask me who to ask, because I won't be able to tell you their name. Alright, coming up on my first road crossing here. This is like a nothing road. You know, it probably sees 15 cars in a day. The only thing I'm concerned about is that the trail is pretty icy, and there's a little slope to get up into the road. I hope I can get up it. I mean, it's not much of a slope, but yeah, the snow is just all glazed over. Yeah, yep, I made it. Alright, nothing coming there. Oh, car's turning down there though. Check these prints out, guys. These are horses. So yeah, these really big depressions here, those are horse hooves. Now in that first little segment, before we crossed that road, there was a little side trail just off beyond the ridges of the old railroad system, and there's, yeah, it's just a little trail there that kind of makes you feel like you're more in the woods, you know, and it's kind of just snaking around trees and stuff like that. It's very narrow, and in the summertime it actually gets quite overgrown. But the town or the county, whoever takes care of this, they do a fairly decent job on trying to keep it under control and usable. But once you cross that first road, then that's it. That's the end of that trail. You know, it's not over there anymore. Kind of a cold day today. I think the temperatures are in the upper 20s. The winds are maybe around below 10, maybe up and around 8 miles an hour. But the gusts will pick up every once in a while, and we'll probably get over 10, maybe 15 or so. The coldness with just a little bit of breeze does make it quite cold. So when I first started the hike, man, I was really cold, but now that I'm moving, I'm getting warmed up. I'm feeling much better about it. These are kind of unique little features that are out here, these old electrical lines. And those posts aren't very tall, maybe 15 feet. But yeah, there's just every so often just small electrical poles. Of course, the electrical lines are gone. I was so worried about my footing back when I was actually leaving Clinton, and I did not see them. But they used to have like old railroad panelings, you know, junction boxes and stuff like that. Big, huge cast iron things that were really cool. But I don't remember seeing them when I was going through Clinton. So I'll have to look on my way back and see if they're still there. God, this trail is just so slick. I think my hip is actually starting to hurt just from having to control my body weight and stuff. Because that'll be an interesting day. I'm probably not even a mile into it, and my hip is starting to hurt already. I have to take a moment and just kind of stretch it out a little bit. Alright, look at that. That's my first mile marker. So, 1 mile done. And actually, I don't remember seeing those posts when Jen and I were out here, what, 7 years ago. So I don't know how new those signs are, but I'm kind of glad they're there. Going through this little piney area. It's actually kind of interesting. As soon as I got up to them, it's like, now I can smell pine. Still a little ways from the crossing of Highway X. It's just a little county highway. But yeah, somewhere up there we're going to cross it. But there's no really other trail intersections. This is basically just a straight shot on an old rail system, which I actually like hiking these old rails because they're just always in good shape. You know, you don't really have to worry about heavy muddy spots and steep hills and stuff like that. These are usually pretty easy hikes. Yeah, look at this over here. Another little gazebo rest area. The first one we saw had little benches out here. This one doesn't have that. All right, reached a major intersection here for the snowmobile trail. Go off that way along those tree lines. You can also see some that come around this way. Looks like they give the snowmobilers little maps along the way. That's pretty cool. I have no idea what the number 7 indicates. I don't know if it's something, there's a little chart that's up there in the top corner of the map. I don't know if it's got something on there. So yeah, this trail definitely gets used a lot by the snowmobile club. Oh, finally a little solid ground to walk on. Right back onto the ice. All right, there's the parking lot for the snowmobile club, and that building there is their clubhouse. So yeah, that's the clubhouse for the snowmobile club, the fence hoppers. And we're not even, I don't even think we've hit 2 miles yet. I haven't seen the 2 mile marker yet. But we're coming up on the crossing of County Highway X. And we'll be there in just a couple minutes. Alright, here I am at County X. Even though this is like one of the most major roads you're going to cross, it's not horrible. You know, you might have to wait for a car or two, but for the most part, just be smart when you're crossing the road, okay? I am seeing stop signs and stop aheads, but I think it's just for a driveway. Yeah, that's all it is. It's just a driveway. A couple of stop signs, and it's just a driveway. County X is right there. And the driveway just goes over to these buildings, barn, big shed. So yeah, just some farming buildings over there. Well, here I am at another rest stop gazebo place. I'm actually going to use this one. I just need to adjust my pack a little bit. Alright, I think I got it adjusted properly. I had to just cinch it up just a little bit. This trail isn't really all that bad, but the one major downfall that it has is that it's just so close to a couple of major roads. I mean, right over there through the trees, you can see a car going by right now. That's County X. It's right there. There's lots of farms and industrial businesses along the road, especially once you get closer to Delavan and then back into Clinton. So semis and cars and trucks and stuff on that road almost all the time. And I don't know if you can hear it, but there's that slight buzz, hum. And it's because the interstate is right on the other side. Let me turn you around. So right over there, you can see a couple of cars and stuff go by every once in a while. So yeah, right over there is an interstate. It's not a heavily used interstate, but it's an interstate, and there's lots of traffic there, and we're close to it, and there's just a constant humming buzz from the wheels on the pavement. So that's kind of annoying. Now granted, it's also winter now, so there's no leaves in the trees or anything like that. You know, maybe the foliage, you know, in the summer and the spring and stuff, maybe that would help deaden the sound of the roads, but right now in the winter time, I can hear them clearly. I truthfully don't know how far in I am. I don't know. I don't even know if I've hit that 2-mile marker yet, but I might have missed it. I gotta watch my footing so much. There's so much ice on the trail. I just gotta watch my footing. So I'm not really able to look up. I have seen a few birds. I think I saw a blue jay, maybe a cardinal, and maybe a sparrow. I've heard crows, but really haven't seen them. But that's about it. I think I remember farther down when Jen and I were here a few years back, there was an area that was just full of birds. But I don't know what kind of birds they are, so they might be gone for the winter. I don't know. Let's keep moving. There's just a bunch of birds on the trail up here. I think I've come across that area where the birds usually are. It's like I said, just in these little grassy areas. I can see them even farther down the trail down there. But they're getting something, I don't know what. I mean, they gotta just be getting like grasses and stuff for their nests. It's the only thing I can think of. But again, I think I'm seeing like blue jays and sparrows and stuff like that. Mostly sparrows. I suppose technically they could be feeding. There might be like grass seed or something like that that they're feeding on. Because yeah, I mean they're out in the pathway, they're just hanging around the grassy area, so yeah, I'm sure they're just looking for something to eat. I think it's kind of funny just on how many there are. The trail has definitely gotten much closer to the interstate now. I mean, you can see cars just through that little area. No, I can't now. Of course, as soon as I want to show you cars on the interstate, all of a sudden there's no cars. What the hell? And now it's even getting quiet. I just had like 10 semis go by and a couple of dozen cars. So, there. I think you saw something now. Well, that's what I mean. This trail, it's beautiful and I like it, but there's just so much road noise from the interstate, and then Highway X is still just over there on the other side of the field. So that to me is the only downside to this trail. But I still like being out here. That little rest area was a memorial too. What was it, Jacob Edema or something like that? Lots of memorial stuff on this trail. But again, I don't know who the people are, so crying out loud. Not far after that that last little rest area, that memorial for Jacob, there's another one here. Now, this almost looks like it might have been a gazebo at one time, but the structure itself is gone, but there's just a couple of benches left sitting here. So yeah, that's got a bench here, got a bench there. This one, however, is not a memorial. Just says a Bradford 4-H rest area. But I mean, shoot, I mean, that's maybe 100 yards apart. Man alive, when I was doing other trails, like the Badger State Trail, and you don't get any benches along that at all. You know, maybe at a trailhead and that's it. Well, I might have a mileage marker coming up here too. That'd be nice to know. Alright, there's my mileage marker. Holy cow. Mileage marker 3.5. So mileage marker 3.5. I don't even remember seeing 2, 2.5, or 3. Oh well, at least I know how far I've gotten. Alright, got another road crossing here. And unlike the Ice Age Trail, they don't post a sign saying what the road is. They gave me a nice trailhead sign there. There's snowmobile signs, you know, saying Clinton that way, Milton that way, you know, stuff like that, but there's no indication of what road this is. And there's the interstate. Okay, got a little gazebo coming up here, a little rest stop, and I think I'm going to use it. My feet are actually starting to get a bit hot. And I think it's from all the slipping and sliding on the ice. It's really moving my foot in my shoe quite a bit. So I'm going to stop, give my feet a little time to cool off. I think I'm just a little bit short of the 4.5 mile mark. But I'm not moving very fast because of the trail conditions being so icy. I'm almost taking like baby steps, it seems. Alright, let's get into this rest area and take a rest. Oh, that's not going to be a quiet rest stop, that's for sure. Not with the interstate right there. Oh, and in fact, I think this was the gazebo that I wanted to stop at to have my lunch break today. But after 4+ miles, I just need a little break. Back's getting a little sore. Like I said, my feet were starting to get hot, almost like they were starting to blister, so I want to give them a little bit of a break. Yeah, it's, like I said, I'm not covering a lot of miles, but it's just that sliding on the ice and then your foot is shifting in your shoe. So yeah, I mean, even though I've got wool socks on today to just help keep them warm, maybe I should have went with a synthetic sock, you know, to kind of help keep my foot cool as well, keep it dry and everything. Although the wool should be doing that a little bit too, but I think it's just the conditions I'm in. My feet are just kind of starting to hurt. And I still have to double it all the way back to the car. So if I need to stop now and take breaks, I guess I'm going to start doing that, because otherwise I'm going to end up with a blister that big, almost like what I had when Dave and I did that Glacier Trail hike incorporated thing, the Badger Trails or whatever the hell it was last year. But, yep, just going to kick my shoes off, kick my feet up, and just relax for a little bit. Alright, I've been sitting here for about 10-15 minutes. Feet are starting to get cool again. So, time to continue. I did look at the All Trails app, and it has me at a little over 4.5 miles. But I have not seen the 4.5 mile marker, unless that gazebo was it. So yeah, I should only need about another mile or so to get to Allen's Grove, and then we'll be at the end of this trail, and then we can turn around and go back. We'll have to admit that the second half of this trail hasn't been nearly as icy. You know, you can see back there that the center of the trail is just pretty much down to the grass. Still a few little icy spots here and there, but it hasn't been bad. Not like the beginning of the trail. So they either get a lot more snowmobiles down here, and then they've just been chewing up the snow and the ice, and it melts quicker. Or maybe there's just not as much tree coverage here, so it gets a little bit more sun. I don't know. But I know my feet are thankful for it. Okay, looks like I'm coming up on my 4.5 mile marker. Right there. Now, according to the information back at the Clinton start point, that it's 5.8 miles. But I did a quick Google map on it, and they said that it was only 5.5 miles. I don't know. Could be either or. When I was back at the gazebo taking that little break, I was looking at the All Trails app, and it said that I've done 4.6 miles at that gazebo. But again, I do shots where I put the camera down, I walk away, I come back. So that alone adds a little bit of distance. And yeah, I probably added close to a 1/4 mile just in doing shots like that. So we'll see what the mileage is once we get up there. And then try to figure out what I'm going to do for lunch, because it's already past 11. I might just go back to that gazebo like I originally thought and have my lunch there. But we'll see. Oh, that's too bad. These are those junction boxes that I was telling you about that I remember was down in Clinton. They had one that was all in good shape and everything and standing up. This one here, though, it's falling over. But it looks like it's just, it doesn't look like it's vandalized, just the post rotted through and it's just broken, that's all. Like I said, when I was going through Clinton, I didn't see the one down there. And that one was actually in really good shape. So I'm going to have to keep my eyes open for it when we go back. It should be around those auto places, the repair shops and stuff, just back by the elementary school. But yeah, I'm definitely getting towards the end. And I think at some point I have a little bit of a brick wall that will start developing. I don't know if I'm going to see it through the snow and stuff, and I don't know, maybe it's overgrown and stuff now, but I think they kind of secured up this little ridge here, because I'm getting closer and closer to that Allen's Grove. I think they built this up so the houses wouldn't hear the trains as much, kind of deaden the sound. But I think they put up a bit of a retaining wall in brick, if I remember right. I could be fooling myself and I could be wrong. All right, this is the retaining wall that I remember seeing. It's nothing much. It's almost like a little historical spot. You got a junction box there. you know, all railroad related. And then someone made this little alcove of brick, stone, whatever you want to call it. I'm coming up on the backside of the town of Allen's Grove. All the houses you see up there, that's basically the town. I mean, literally, that is the town. I think it's like a block or two. Actually, I think it's only about 1 block deep. It's an unincorporated town. There's no school here. There's no police department. And I think they only have like 1 bar in town. And I don't even know if they have any church. They might have 1 church. But that's it. That's all the town is. Holy shit. Just as I got done talking, I looked up and I saw a deer shooting down the path. But I'm actually coming up to the end of the trail. Okay, so here are the tracks left from that deer that I just saw, and he ended up bolting. This right here is the end of the trail, but he ended up bolting over the road and across the way there. Okay, so I reached the trailhead, and there's my 5.5 mile marker. So that marker that I saw in Clinton, or that post and everything like that with all the trail information, it was saying 5.8. Apparently that's wrong, so it's 5.5. As you can see at this end here, there is a horse hitch right there. There's a little informational kiosk there. So this end actually has little pamphlets you can take. Let's see what this says. This informational thing says that right there, it says that 6 miles long. It ain't no 6 miles. So whoever wrote up this little pamphlet was full of shit. And it says that the trail averages 100 feet wide, but that might be, it's not just the trail that you're walking on, it's the land from privately owned and the highway or whatever. That whole section is 100 feet wide. So that's all that you're walking, is just a narrow strip of land. Now, the railroad system did keep going through there, but the thing is that the line connects to a railroad system that's actually being used, so they did not continue the trail down that direction. So this is the end of it. Once you get to Allen's Grove, you are done. I say we start heading back. I want to get to that gazebo and have lunch. I don't know how much more recording I'm going to do, just because, well, I've done all the recording to get here. So I don't know if I'm going to record much more. So I've been noticing that I've been getting pretty warm, as you can tell. Took my hat off, took my gloves off, got my coat unzipped. But I also have been noticing that the ice that I've been walking on before isn't really ice anymore. It's kind of like a slush now. So I quickly pull out my phone just to see what the weather temperature is. And it's coming up on the high of the day. They're saying that it's supposed to be a high of 40, and we're just about there. I'm sorry if I'm seeming like I'm yelling, but with the interstate right there, I don't know how well you're hearing me over the traffic noise. So yeah, right now, what seems like I was walking on ice before is turning into kind of a slush. But I don't know if it's the whole trail that's being affected or just this area. So we'll see what it's like once I get back into Clinton. Alright guys, got to my gazebo. That was just another, mile or so down the path. Getting ready to make my lunch. And you're probably wondering what I'm going to have for lunch. I enjoyed it so much, I bought more chunky soup. This one is a chicken pot pie. And I'm going to cook it in the pot this time instead of in the can. I noticed when I ate the other one over when I was doing the what was it, the Stony Ridge segment, I think, where the flame was hitting the can, it was actually burning there. So I'm going to have to come up with something to help alleviate that burning. At least with the pot, it's going to be easier for me to move around the flame. Alright, so let me show you what I got going on for my lunch setup. Being that it's kind of windy today, I have my backpack sitting here behind my stove to help block off some of the forceful wind. And then I've just got aluminum foil going around my stove to help protect the flame a little bit, to keep everything, keep the heat in and heat up everything. Yeah, it's boiling away pretty good. I would say that it is hot. One of the things I love about this is that this pot fits in the lid. Just like that. So I can now actually hold the bottom without burning myself. Steaming up pretty good. Look at that, man. Doesn't that look good? That's pretty good. It really is. Yeah, my last few hikes have just been simple day hikes. Well, you don't need to have dehydrated meals and stuff like that. I mean, those things are expensive, okay? You go out and you buy a Mountain House meal just for a day hike, and what are they, $8, $9, $10, up to $12? You know, 2 cans of soup, $3, okay? Yeah, I got weight in my pack, but it's just for one day. It's just for a few hours. But I noticed when I was stirring that I had some stuff kind of burnt to the bottom. So I got to find something to kind of help diffuse that flame. That flame is intense, and it's, you know, that big around. And it's just shooting on the bottom of the pot, just heating, superheating that one area. So I definitely need to find something to kind of diffuse out that heat. On my Coleman stove, you know, that element is like that big around. So that I don't really need any help with. It's just these little MSR pocket rocket things. That's right, you know, that size right in the middle of your pot. All right, well, I'm going to sit here and eat. This battery is just about dead, so I'm going to turn the camera off, eat, and then get back on the trail. Okay, so now I suppose you're wondering, what about the dirty dishes? Well, clean enough to go home. Of course, what do you do with the dirty cans then? Well, I could do the snow thing. And if there was no snow, I could use, you know, leaves and dirt and stuff like that. It's not like I'm going to be eating it anymore. But for now, I'm just going to stick them back in the shopping bag and just tie it up so it doesn't leak out. All right, there's my cans all tied up. So if anything leaks out of it, it should stay in the bag. And of course, when I get home, this gets a proper washing. I'm pretty much all packed up now. Oh, almost forgot my spoon. All right. Alright, here's a hero quiz for you. Superhero quiz for you. What superhero had the battle cry of Spoon? I know my friend Robert will get it. Alright, just a quick look around. I don't see anything. So that must mean I must have everything. Alright, let's get going. We got about a little over 4 miles to go. Let's get going, let's end this. Alright, so I just recently crossed the 3.5 mile marker. Now this is where I didn't see any 3 mile, 2.5, or 2 mile marker. I'm gonna have to keep my eyes open for them and see if I can spot them this time. Huh, that's weird. I'm seeing like a light way down the path. I'm trying to figure out if it's just a reflection of something or what. I don't know if it's just a sign or what. So yeah, zooming in with the camera, of course trying to hold it steady at the same time. It looks like it must be a sign down there or something. Speaking of which, I still have not seen the 3 mile, 2.5 mile, or 2 mile marker yet. So I think they're just missing. So I've been thinking about this since I stopped for lunch. I want to inspire people just to get outside. You know, if you're kind of physically disabled, maybe you got problems with your knees or your hips, or just your feet in general, or your back. Hell, I've got back problems. You know, I had surgery a while ago, and my back problems are still there. It wasn't a cure-all. It helped. But, yeah, I just want to encourage people just to step out your front door, walk to the end of the block. You know, just whenever. You don't have to do it every day. Just whenever you feel the urge that, you know, going to work, coming home, making dinner, vegging out in front of the TV, and going to bed. You know, if that's your standard routine, I've been there, I've done it, and I started getting tired of it. Started feeling sluggish and bad about myself. But, you know, just getting out, walking around, it is actually quite amazing on how much you clear your head of shit just by getting out and going for a walk. Doesn't have to be long, doesn't have to be far. Could be, like I said, just to the corner of your block. Then maybe at some point that won't be enough, and you'll have to do something else, extend it another block. Or find a trail like this one. Maybe even grab a buddy saying, hey Peter, hey Joan, come on with me, let's go for a walk. You know, just get out and enjoy yourselves. Spend a little time in nature. You might actually learn something. I'm not saying that you for sure will, but could it really get any worse? I mean, that's just my take on it. That's what I want to get across to you guys, is just to get out there and enjoy yourselves. I'm not spending days on end out here. I'm not doing 20 and 30 mile hikes. I'd like to get to that point, but right now it's no big deal. Just get out and enjoy nature and see what the world has to offer. You know, some of the best things you could ever do sometimes in your life is to go down that road you've never been on, just to see what's down there. Alright, coming up on County Highway X, and actually looks like there's a person walking a couple of dogs up there. Well, it looks like they're leashed too, so I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, that lady that's way back there, she's got a nice sized German Shepherd and a good sized Lab. I think they were pulling her around more than she was pulling them. Of course, you know, once they got close, you know, they started barking at me and stuff like that, but I actually used my tripod as a shield so they wouldn't get too close. I didn't hit them or nothing like that, but I was just keeping the legs of the tripod right in front of their face. But anyway, we crossed Highway X now, and the snowmobile club building is right up here. And yeah, all the ice that I'd been walking on before, it's gone all soft and slushy and stuff, so it's been a wetter walk, but at least I haven't been straining myself to keep my footing. I got a lot slower in my pace because I was going at a pretty good clip, and then suddenly at one point I stepped on some slushy area. My left foot slipped out from under me. I was able to regain my balance, but I wrenched my back in the process. So yeah, I'm kind of hurting right now, so I slowed down a little bit. Alright, I'm officially back in the town of Clinton. There's the junior high over there, my old high school. So, yeah, just about there. I did push through. I did not stop at the rest areas. And ever since then, I've slipped 2 more times. Wrenched my back both times. So yeah, right now I am really dying to get to the car. But I am coming up on those auto shops. And I'm gonna look around and see if I can find that that railroad switch panel. See if I can find it, see if it's still there. Oh, there's the old switch panel. I must have missed it. It's still there. That's all I care about. Alright, here we are. We're back. Pit toilet's right there. There's our little covered bridge we're going to walk over. The gazebo over there. And my car is right over here. Hey, there's the car. Okay. Whew. Yeah, like I said, my back got a little tight on me. But got the hike done. It's coming up on 3 o'clock, so let's see, it took me what, 7 hours to go 10 miles. Like I said, I was not breaking any land speed records, you know, doing this hike. I was taking my time with it. Then towards the end, when I wrenched my back, I was going real slow after that. But I did 11.25 miles. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty decent. I'm happy with it. I was thinking about going and see Mom and Dad because they literally lived right down the street from where I parked. But with my back feeling the way it is, I just want to get home, rest up, take some ibuprofen, and I still gotta make dinner tonight. All right, so this is Mark saying thanks again for watching. And I'll see you on the road.